Hello everyone and welcome back to our new SwiftUI animation tutorial. Today we are going to look into something very interesting animations. We are going to create a wave in this download button. Whenever a user is going to click this download button, a wave animation is going to appear and it's going to fill until this download is in progress. Once it's going to complete, we will have a tick animation along with the download complete. So let's see how to create this download animation button. In order to create this download animation, let's start with a new Xcode project. So this is the first view that appears whenever you are going to launch SwiftUI application. It's going to display an image, and under that image you will have a text with a hello world. So let's wait for a while until it loads its preview on the right hand side in a Canva. Okay, so here we have a globe and under that we have hello world text. Let's change and see if it's working. I changed its name from hello world to hello Abdul and it has changed from hello world to hello Abdul, as we all can see. Right, so now we are going to remove everything from the body because we have to add our very own animation. So in order to create and start, let's give it a background first. So let's create a Z stack. Let's introduce a color in the Z stack. Color, for our case it will be red 37 by 255, green 43 by 255, and blue 54 by 255. Right, so once the background color added, we can see that background color has been updated, but it's not ignoring safe area. So let's add as ignoring safe area to all the edges. So here we have ignored all the safe edges. Now what's next? Next we have to create a circle in between, and along with that circle we will need a text. So let's create a VStack first. In this VStack we will need a circle and a text. So first let's add a circle in it, and let's give it a frame with a width of 150 and height of 150. Now next we are going to give it stroke, and stroke will be with a style. Stroke style, and stroke style will be, let's add a line width to it, and line width could be 10. Let's see how it's going to look like. So we have created a download circle, but what we witnessed was that the circle was green. So let's update its background value, its foreground value. So let's update its foreground value to green, which will be color, and let's add a red, green and blue to it. 137 by 255, then blue green 185 by 255, then blue 63. So it's not like you have to give the same colors which I am giving. It could be any color that you need or that you think it would be a better one. So here we have achieved a border for our download button. Let's add a text beneath it. And let's name it to download. Here we can see a download text has appeared, but it's not looking very prominent. So let's give its foreground color to white, and we can further give its font size, which will be system size of 22. So let's see how it's going to look. Here we have download text with a font of 22, but it's not very visible. So let's change it to 30 and we can give it bold. So now we can see that our text is a bit more visible, but again let's increase the space between them. So let's add a space of 20. Now let's see what's going to happen. It will increase the space between circle and text. Why? Because we have added circle and text in vertical stack. Vertical stacks arrange its view in a vertical order from top to bottom, and adding space 20 will add space between them, 20th space between them. So we have created a circle along with the text. Next, we are going to add the animation part within the circle whenever user tap. Now we need to add a circle animation whenever user presses this button. To add that animation that's going to display or that's going to increase its width and height from between, let's introduce a straight variable for height and width for width of circle 1 is equals to 0, and again add the state for height circle 1 is equals to 0. Next, we are going to introduce these width and height to the new circle that we are going to create. So let's create another Z stack first, because we are going to animate, or we are going to add the circle inside these circles. So let's create a circle, and along with that we are going to create another new circle with a stroke style or with the same width of stroke style that we have above for the above circle. Let's give its line width to 10. Next, we are going to add a frame with a width and height of the width. Next, we are going to add width and height that we have stated above with the state property variable. So let's give it width circle 1, and we are going to add height of width height circle 1. Now we need to specify, make it to float, so let's add 0.0 instead of 0. Next we need to add foreground color to our circle. So in order to add, we will be needing the same foreground color that we use in the circle. So here we are done with our circle. Next, we have to animate the circle, but its height and width are 0 right now. So let's introduce timer. So dot on appear. So next we are going to increase its width. Next we are going to increase its width and height whenever user taps this button. So let's introduce a tap gesture. On tap we can add width animation, and inside this width animation we can increase its circle width and circle height, like width circle 1 plus is equals to 150, and we can use height circle 1 to 150. So next, let's see what happens when a user taps on this download button. So whenever a user is going to tap download button, a circle will start its from center, and it's going to increase its width and height until it reaches the border. Now in order to slow it down, let's introduce animation function with the property ease out parameter, and we can specify its speed, which we can give 0.5, which will be equatable to circle width. Now let's see what's going to happen when a user taps on a circle download button. Here we can see that animation has been perfectly achieved. A circle starts from the bottom and it reaches to the boundary. So next we need to introduce another circle, and this circle will have different speed. So let's give this circle speed of 1, and let's see what's going to happen next. So here we have achieved 2 circles within this download animation. It's appearing, but we have witnessed that there is a gap between 2 circles. So instead of 1, let's give it 0.75 to make it look more interesting, and let's see what's going to happen next. Now it looks more beautiful, but again there's a gap has been observed between 2 circles. So let's give it 0.65, and let's see what difference it makes. Okay, nice. Now it looks nice. Next we have to create an image which will appear at the center of this download button. So let's add an image. On background we have gray color. Let's add an image in the circle, and that image would be of green color. So let's introduce image which will be IC download green. Now we are going to adjust its frame with a width and height of 95. So let's give width of 95 and height of 95 too. Next we are going to introduce resizable function, which is going to let this image being resized. Alright, sorry. So here's the problem, that value of system type view has no member resizable. Why is that so? Because resizable is always declared before frame. So first we need to tell that image is being resizable, and then we need to specify its frame. So let's see. Okay, we have perfectly achieved our download button. Along with that, we have achieved the animation that we are going to show whenever user is going to tap this button. Let's create another text and let's increase its value to 100, which will be a percentage. So whenever user is going to tap, the percentage is going to increase to 100. So let's introduce another stack, which will be v stack, and in this v stack we can add another text, which will be percentage. Percentage value. So let's declare a percentage value. Next we need to increase this percentage value. Before that, let's introduce percentage sign. So right now initially we have 0%, and whenever user is going to tap, we need to increase its percentage. So next we need to increase this percentage value, and in order to increase this percentage value, let's introduce timer dot schedule timer with a time interval of 1.0. repeat true, and we are going to add a block of code, which will be if percentage timer value is greater than 100, less than 100, we are going to increase percentage value by 1. So let's see, whenever user is going to tap, what's going to happen. So here we comes, and whenever user taps, its value start increasing, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we have added a time interval of 1. We can change it to 0.05 to increase its speed. Now let's see at what rate it's going to increase its percentage value. So whenever its user is going to tap on it, download percentage is going to increase until it reaches 100. So here we have achieved text download. Next we need to add a wave animation in it. To add a wave animation, we need to add first of all we need to think where we need to add this wave animation. And in order to add this wave animation, we need to think of, like, we have a circles, we have an image. We need to fill this wave over this image. So we are going to add a wave animation after these circles. I have declared a struct above. So let's add, which requires, this wave animation requires progress, wave height, offset, and fill level. So for the fill level, we are going to introduce a state. Let's add a progress, wave height, and offset to it. So I'm going to give a wave height, wave progress to 0.4, a wave height to 0.03, and offset will be offset, that's going to be introduced, and fill level wave will be fill level wave. This is going to increase with time with some percentage. We are going to introduce timer dot schedule. So let's add the state property wrapper with a variable fill level wave is equals to 0, and we are going to introduce a timer, and in this timer we are going to give 0.05, or we can change this timer to something different like 0.08, and we can increase the fill level wave value. So let's see how it's going to look. But we are facing an error right now. Why? Because we haven't declared an offset yet. So let's declare an offset. So the offset will also be a property wrapper So we are going to introduce offset with a 0.0 and it would be CG float. So here we are good with the progress, wave height, offset and fill wave. So let's see what happened next. Let's see how it's going to behave. Okay, so it's saying that fill level wave need to be a float value. Alright, so let's make this fill level wave to float and let's see what's going to happen. We have added progress, wave height and offset and fill level wave. Fill level wave is going to increase its wave's height. Let's see how Canva is going to present it. Now we have added wave and now we need to give its background to green. So let's add the same color and let's see if it's going to change its color to green. Right, now we need to give its frame value. So frame width, and we are going to declare its height. Wave animation will have width and height of the same value which we have. Next we are going to give it a frame width and height. Width and height would be of 150 because that is the same height and width we have given to our circles. So let's make it 150 by 150 and it is going to reduce its width and height and we can see it's being displayed under this download button. Next we are going to add mask to it. Mask is basically going to overlay the shape that we are going to give in this mask. So we need to give a circle and along with the foreground color to green and its frame with width and height of 150. So here we have added a wave animation inside this circle. So let's see what's going to happen. Here we can see the wave is being increased and it can be witnessed that but it stops in between. Why is that so? Because the fill level value is declared 100 which needs to be 150. That is the reason it's not filled, it's just 1/3 of the circle. So after changing the fill level wave to 150, let's see what's going to happen next. Now we have changed the fill level wave value to 150 because we need to meet the fill level wave because we need to make this wave to reach to the top. So let's see what's going to happen when user clicks. So here the wave is increasing and let's see if it's going to make it to the top or it's going to stop at the back at the 1/3. So finally it has reached at the top and we have achieved wave animation. Now we witnessed that wave wasn't moving. So we need to change its offset, and in order to change its offset, let's add on appear. And on appear we are going to add with animation. In this with animation we are going to introduce dot linear with some duration of 1, and in this one we are going to say repeat forever along with auto reverses to true. And with this animation we are going to update its offset value. Let's see what's going to happen next. We have added on a pair of this wave animation, we have added that this wave is going to animate. So whenever user is going to click, the wave is going to fill, and we can see that wave is being filled with an animation. But the wave and this download percentage is not synced. So we witnessed that percentage and the level of wave was animating at different speed. So we need to specify different time intervals, try with different time intervals in order to sync. I have added 0.08 for percentage and 0.058 for fill level height. So let's see how it's going to look like. Right, so we can see that wave level is being increasing and download percentage is also being increased. So next we know that we need to hide this image as soon as the download percentage gets to 100. So we are going to add a percentage value. If our percentage value is equals to 100, we are going to set its opacity to 0. If not, it will be 1. Next, we are going to introduce animation function, and in that animation function we are going to increase ease in out with a duration of 1. The value that's going to be equatable to the animation would be percentage value. So now what's going to happen is that this image is going to disappear and a tick image will be appeared here. But we are still missing something, that we haven't introduced the gray image. So let's add, if a user tab set and fill level wave is greater than 0, we are going to introduce a new image which will be IC download gray, else it would be green. So let's see how it's going to animate for us. So whenever user is going to tap, a fill level wave animation is going to start, and it's going to increase until it reaches to the top, and downloading percentage will be set to 100. And we can see that download image gets disappear when we reaches the percentage value to 100. So next we are going to introduce a tick shape, and in this tick shape we are introduce few functions with a percentage value 0, and the tick shape is going to appear whenever the percentage value will hit 200. So let's see how it's going to appear. So we have started this download button animation, and as soon as it reaches to the top and download percentage gets 100, our download image is going to disappear and our tick shape is going to appear. So we have finally achieved this download animation, and what we have used is wave animation, circles, and image. So basically we have used a combination of shape and animations to meet this download button animation. So first of all, let's look at what we have done. We have created a Z stack and introduced a color to it, and in that Z stack we have a V stack in which we have specified a circle and this text values. And for this circle we introduce further 2 more circles in order to animate whenever user is going to tap. Will have 2 circles animating. Then we have wave fill animation, and after that wave fill animation we also have image and a tick shape. So we have finally achieved what we wanted at the start, which is cool download button animation. Thank you for all the patience and watching this download button animation. If you have any feedback, feel free to share in the comment section. Do subscribe and stay tuned for more.